Hi everyone, this is Ali Hassan again, and this is my second presentation on project management for all, part two, I called it. First of all, thanks to everyone who encouraged me to continue these presentations, and also thanks for the great and very helpful comments I received from many colleagues. This presentation, I'm going to talk about the project fundamentals. So, as we said before, a project is a temporary endeavor to create a unique product, service, or result. So, what does unique product, service, or result mean? It means this project is one of a kind, i.e., it's not similar to any other project in the world. If we take any example, say a school or a soccer stadium or any other building or any other project. So even there are some few characteristics which are similar to other projects, but this one similarity in a few does not, in a few characteristics does not change the fact regarding its uniqueness, because every project has its own key characteristics, unique key characteristics like in design, location, size, environment, and so on. Okay, the second thing, the temporary nature of the project. So every project has definite beginning and end. It cannot go for, has very long. It has to finish somehow. So this does not mean it's short. It could go for so many years. And it depends on the size and urgency and so many factors, actually. Some projects can be done in maybe in a week or 2 weeks. Some projects take months and even years. Uh, the project will end when one or many conditions occur. So if the project is completed, of course it will end. Sometimes the project will end even if it's not completed. I mean, for reasons of force majeure or funding issues and so many other factors. So the project will end. Project will end, but its deliverables may last for centuries, like a monument or ancient cities. They're still here, for thousands of years. Monument being built in a few years, like Eiffel Tower, but it's there for 130 years. And Liberty Statue in the States also took, I think, 2 years to be built, but it's been here for the last 145 years. Projects bring benefit to the organization. So no organization will do a project for fun. It costs money and effort, so it has to bring benefits. And the benefit could be material or immaterial. It doesn't have to be money, benefit. It could be immaterial. Projects change organizations. They may change the structure of the organization. They may change procedures and processes of the organizations. A project could be in response to external factors or effects. Sometimes it's not the company who decides to do the project. There are some legal, say, requirements or environmental requirements which force the organization to initiate and authorize a project. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about a few examples of projects. The first example is introducing a new software to the company accounting system. This certainly will change so many things in the company. Construction of a new power station. Sorry, the first one, the software, this is a product. The construction of a new power station, this is a result. Exploring for a mineral in a region, this is a service. Merging, say, of two organizations. Merging of organizations is not a simple endeavor. It takes so much money and effort and takes sometimes a long time to merge organizations because you need to change so many things, procedures, systems, and processes. Abandoning of a mine. So if the mineral resources of a mine are depleted, the organization will abandon the mine. But they cannot just leave it and go. You have to initiate a project to how to abandon the mine. There are some legal requirements, environmental requirements. You may need to flood the mine and do some additional precautions. You have to check the stability of the area. Conducting a research to find a new vaccine. And now we can see this example. There are so many projects around the world uh, by so many countries to find a vaccine for the COVID-19. And I'm sure every project is different from the other project, even if it is in the same country, but done by a different group maybe to find this vaccine. Okay. Factors lead to creation of projects. How do we create a project? There are some factors. The first factor is a new technology. Say an electronics firm authorizes a new project to develop a new, say, faster and cheaper, a smaller laptop based on, say, advances in the technology, in the computer technology. Competitive forces lower pricing by on products by, say, another competitor, force the company to find ways to lower production for cost in order to stay competitive in the market. Material issues. Say if any municipal find there are some cracks in a bridge, say in some support members in that bridge, you have to initiate a project to see the cause for these cracks and may repair them or even abandon the bridge and build a new one. Maybe if the cracks are huge and cause risks to people and vehicles. The other factor is the political changes. If any, say, new government has been elected and they have their own agenda and they bring new laws, and these laws have to be met, by companies and organizations. Market demands. Say a car company authorized a project to build more fuel efficient cars. If there are, say, high fuel prices, or yeah, fuel prices, or to find ways to reduce the gases in the economical changes. Economical changes, if an economic downturn results in a change in the priorities of a current project. Customer request. So say an electric, for example, an electric utility authorizes a project to build a substation to serve a new development in the city. Stakeholders demands. Any stakeholder may require that a new output to be produced by the organization, but of course he has to make sure to convince the company that it's economical. Legal requirements. Chemical manufacturer authorize a project to establish guidelines for the proper handling of a new toxic material. Strategic opportunity. A training company may authorize a new training course to increase its revenues and stay competitive with other organizations. Social need. Sometimes, say in remote areas in the third world, you may find high rates of infectious diseases. So a government or non-government organization will authorize a project to educate people on the use of potable water and sanitation systems. Environmental consideration. So if a city finds too much dust or gases emitted from a plant near a city, that plant or that company has to then will initiate a project to improve the dusting system in order to meet the legal requirements. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is the project phases or project stages. On these typical development phases of an engineering project, I've taken this actually from Wikipedia, and these are similar to it's not only for engineering projects, maybe similar to any other project. So the first phase is the initiation. And the initiation phase, you have to maybe do a pre-feasibility study and feasibility and authorize the budget and give the go-ahead to the project. Once the go-ahead is given, you start the planning and the design. Engineering and design can be done internally and can be done in different, say, engineering firm. The third or the next stage is the execution or executing stage. This is the longest stage, and it takes more resources and more time. And the other stage, I'm not going to say the next because this stage will start at the same time with the planning and design. So this is the monitoring and controlling. You do say maybe you do quality control and give feedback to the planning and to the design, and even also to the execution teams to revise the design and to revise some activities. So this stage, it goes along with the planning and design and execution. The last stage is also very important, is the closing off of the project. In the closing of the project, there are so many activities to be done. One of them is the documentation. You have to make sure that you hand over all the documentation to the customer, also to file them in your database, and also you do a lesson learned session. It could be with the client also to find the negative and positive lessons from the project. This is for a future need. It could be used for future projects. Also, you have to make sure that everyone has been paid from employees and vendors and subcontractors and contractors. Make sure everyone has been paid. This is the last uh, session of this presentation, and I like also to show you my contact details. So I hope this is helpful and ready to receive any comments and suggestions. So thank you very much and see you in the next presentation. Thanks again.